If Christ had not risen from the dead, then our preaching is useless, and so is our faith.
Oh. And you have no doubts at all?
Men do not die for things they doubt.
Everything is a mythical cosmic battle between faith and chance.
Maybe it's
The sacrifice.
Yeah, and you see that in Dante, you see the same, his whole movement. He even talks about how the people in hell, everybody is there because of...
I'm reading the Divine Comedy right now.
That's wonderful. Yeah, it's great. Everybody who is there because of love for a good, even if they love the good too much or they're mistaken about, let's say, the actual ultimate value of that good. Everybody moves towards a good, even if you're doing something which is completely reprehensible.
Plato is striving towards the agape, and Christianity makes this astonishing. The two identity claims, both made by John, God is the Logos and God is agape, right? And then that's an identity claim between Logos and agape, right? It's not to say they're the same, but it's also the same, right? And you're going to say the Trinity, and I get that, right? That's fine, and I don't object to that. But the point I'm making is, for me, that's the crucial move. Now, here's what I say in response to that, and this is what I mean when I say about Neoplatonism is the
Interesting that you would use the word crucial concept.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think it is. Because I go back to my point. You can't follow the Logos unless agape takes you out of egocentrism.
Yeah. Why is describing a teleology not a story? Because you could describe you could describe the cup, but then the problem is well, can you describe the cup in the absence of a narrative? And I mean, I think part of the argument I'm trying to make in this, so this is our key disagreement in some senses. I don't think you can.
Okay, and so beauty is when appearances disclose reality.
That's right. Yeah. And that's what
I believe that.
That's the artist. I mean, that's the artist take, or that's the liturgical take, or it's the beauty of a church, or the beauty of an icon, or it's the notion that God, or ultimate reality, or however you want to phrase it, is disclosing itself to us, and that appears to us as the connection between that which we encounter, these pattern beings that we encounter, and what they reveal to us about the other transcendentals.
I think it happens in intelligence, because we have a lot of relevance realization going on below consciousness.
Okay.
You and I have talked about this.
Right,
before.
okay.
I think consciousness is a kind of intelligence for specific kinds of problems, ill-defined, novel, complexity.
That's the horizon, unpredictable horizon of the future.
Right. So, but let's say, and I think the issue is, yes, and what I'm sort of proposing is intelligibility is something like the way reality is realizing itself, and relevance realization is intelligence. And the good is the fact that we trust that the intelligence can track the intelligibility. And by doing that, it puts us in touch with the world. That's what I would say.
Is that a presupposition of faith? Is that a presupposition of the faith that was necessary before the manifestation of a real science?
Yes.
The willingness to act on that basis?
I think if you do not, okay, so I'm not going to deny the importance of the Judeo-Christian story, okay? But I would also say that without Plato's argument about the good as the ongoing fulfillment of the promise that intelligibility tracks realness, you can't do science. And there's a reason why the scientific revolution is a return to Plato. Galileo rejects Aristotle and goes to Plato and says, Plato is right. Mathematics, listen to the words, mathematics is the language of reality. There's no math in Aristotelian science for 1,200 years. He turns to Plato, and that's what brings in the core of modern science.
Why is that a turn to Plato particularly?
It's because Plato, in the Republic, Plato makes the argument that he had it over the academy. You can't come into the academy unless you can do mathematics, because until you do mathematics, you can't grasp the kind of intelligibility needed to get at the deepest realities of things. And science...
So you thought that math was the cardinal example of that?
Yes. Right.
And all of our science is dependent on mathematics.
Right. And his attitude towards myth and narrative is, right, that's Heidegger's claim about science, is that myths and narratives are, right, that they are indispensable, but they do not have the same degree of revelation of the promise of the good.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
Quidditch, by the way. That's what Rowling represented with Quidditch, because there's a game and a metagame.
Oh,
And if you win the metagame, you also win the game.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but not vice versa, which is it's so smart. So, sorry.
That's you do this, Jordan. You'll just throw out these observations that are like,
Well, it's even worse than that, because the thing,
I want to deal with it, but I
the
have
thing
to
that
get
the
through this other
Quidditch
thing.
players are chasing is the round chaos of alchemy that contains all the potential of the world.
Right.
And
right.
it's also the spirit of Mercury. Like,
Right.
it's like, I don't know how she did that. It's just beyond belief that she managed that. I don't know.
All right there, Scarhead.
Watch yourself, Harry!
Whoa, look out! Let's go.
Harry Potter has caught the snitch!
Gryffindor wins! Finite incantatem!